I want to welcome you to the Engineer Your Success podcast. My name is Dr. James Bryant, your host for today's show. Really exciting show for us today. The topic that we are going to dive into is the top 5 personal development activities to do by the end of the year. But before we get into the heart of today's show, I want to express gratitude for Jerome Myers. He invited me to speak and be the masters of ceremony for the Red Pill Experience in Greensboro, North Carolina, a few weeks ago. It was a phenomenal meeting. We had speakers coming from all across the country, and even an international speaker that came in, and we were talking about how can you create a flourishing life, right? Not just have a flourishing business, but a flourishing life. How can you be well and flourishing financially, spiritually, mentally? In addition to emceeing, I was able to spend some time on center stage giving a signature talk, the 3 questions that changed my life. If you're interested in learning what those 3 questions were, shoot me a direct message and we can have that conversation. That meeting was followed by a mastermind that I'm a part of, Powwow at the Mountaintop. And that was actually a phenomenal meeting. So I've been attending this meeting for about 4 years now, and it has done wonders to shape my view of business, to help me grow. And it continues to provide value each and every time that I'm there. And so I learned a lot. It's great to have people that are around you that are shooting for and are working towards bigger goals, people that can help to shift your perspective. That's some of the things that I do as a coach, and I'm working with my clients, but it's also good to have those peers that are there. And so it was absolutely a wonderful agreement. If you are not part of a mastermind, and you have interest in a mastermind, shoot me a message and I can send you information about the one that I am a part of. It is absolutely phenomenal. Okay. What am I grateful for this week? Well, I'm grateful for the experience being able to speak. I'm grateful for the experience being able to hang out with my crew. Absolutely grateful to be able to spend some time in North Carolina. I got a chance to visit my mother, and I am grateful for each and every one of you, the listeners of this podcast. I mentioned before a few weeks ago that we have a new lead gen, a build your vision document. When you download that build your vision document, you will automatically be provided or tagged with a list to receive a discount on our upcoming course, which is the Engineer's Blueprint for Success. You'll be finding out more information about that in the following weeks. I'm going to talk a little bit about the framework for the Engineer's Blueprint during today's episode. So, what are the 5 personal development activities that you need to do by the end of the year? So, the end of the year is a time for reflection. This is a time that we normally uh, are able to get away from the hustle and bustle of day to day life. So, this is also a time of year where we're really focused on giving and sharing with others during this holiday season. It's also important to take some time to focus in on yourself. So as you're shopping for gifts and you're thinking about how you can be a blessing and how you're going to provide for others. I know for me, I love shopping and thinking through the reactions that I'm going to get when you're able to find that gift, maybe for my nieces or my nephews or my wife or my sons. Just package all of that joy and think about, in fact, I'll challenge you to invest something into yourself as a gift, because you're the greatest gift as an individual. You showing up fully is the greatest gift that you can give anybody that's in you being able to show up. So as I think about this, as we're about to enter into the new year, one of the questions that continuously comes to mind is, are you preparing to have a successful year in 2023? I'm a huge proponent of planning and preparation And I do believe the quote by Benjamin Franklin when it says, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So are you preparing to fail? Or do you actually have things in place where that will support you having a very successful year in 2023? And if part of that is understanding what success actually looks like for you, it's going to be different for each of us. But you have to determine what it looks like for you in your career. What does it look like for you and your family, your relationships, your finances? What does that look like for you spiritually, physically, and mentally? Yeah, I talked about, I'm going to overlay the steps of the engineer's blueprint for success along with these 5 things that I think you absolutely need to do, these personal development activities that will help set you up for success in 2023. Step number 1 is build your vision. This is part of the engineer's blueprint. You really want to build your vision. So vision is giving your imagination permission, is finding space for that. Vision is going to help you kind of set the direction for where you want to go. And without that vision, sometimes you lack direction. You don't know where you're going. So you really want to work on building your vision. And I'm going to get in a little bit more detail further down. The second step in the engineer's blueprint is to uh, evaluate your foundation. You can evaluate it, you can excavate it. You're going to want to strengthen your foundation to be able to support the vision that you have for your life, the vision that you have for your business. The bigger the vision, the stronger the foundation. So you're going to be working on your values, and you're going to be working on those things that are core to who you are, and then checking that against what you've done this past year and seeing, are things in alignment. We're going to talk a little bit more about this particular stage next week. And that episode is really going to focus on the year end review. Step number 3 is to design your plan, right? You want to build your plan. So you've built your vision, you've worked on your foundation. Now it's time for you to build your plan. After you build your plan, you're absolutely going to execute that plan. So building your plan is developing goals for 2023. You're identifying the habits that you want to put in place to help you achieve those goals. And then execution, you're following up and you're putting things in place that will help support the execution of those plans. So before we get too far into planning for 2023, I do think that it's important to take some time to just think about this a little bit more broadly about the top 5 things that, or activities that you can do right now. Right now. I'm not talking about activities that you can do next week, but activities that you can start right now today that will set you up for success in 2023. First is actually making time to reflect and to do some type of year in review. So as you come to the end of another year, I think it's important to take the time to reflect on your successes and challenges. We've been through a lot, you've achieved a lot. You really want to take time to reflect because that can be a powerful tool for your personal and professional development. It allows you to gain clarity about your values, your goals, your objectives. Are you still on mission? Have you been fulfilling your vision? It can really help us better understand ourselves and developing meaningful strategies for achieving our dreams and our aspirations. It's important to take a moment to just stop and look back, right? And appreciate and learn and grow from what we've experienced. You don't have to look back and judge your experience over the past 12 months, but you're really trying to look back, learn, and grow from your experience, right? Because this will help us make sense of our lives as well as provide an opportunity for us to say, you know what, I think we can do a little bit better here. It allows you to stop and think about your actions and your decisions from a different perspective. And then you can really objectively review your successes and your failures in a way that it helps you to build in or identify those things that you want to work on in the coming year. So as we, I just think it's really time. It's really important to take that time to provide that valuable insight for your motivations and your goals, and it will help you recognize those opportunities for next year. Number two will be celebrate your achievements. I cannot tell you how many calls that I've been on with clients, and I'm asking them, hey, what were your wins this year? Or what were your wins last week? And they can't tell me. They can't tell me. I mean, and these people are high achievers, but they can't tell me the things that they've achieved or accomplished over the past year, because often when we're planning to do something, we overestimate what we're going to be able to accomplish. But when we're actually doing it, we underappreciate what we've actually accomplished because we may not be keeping track of that. Right. So celebrating, when some people think about celebration or celebrating, they say that's going to take away from productivity, but really it energizes your productivity, right? It helps to boost the creativity and the motivation in your workplace and in your life. It helps you to recognize those moments and remember and appreciate those achievements. And it gives you something to look forward to. So I have my clients celebrate all the time. So every week we're talking about what were your wins. You know, when it's a coaching session with me, the first part of that session is Wednesday. What's been happening in your life? So achievement can mean different things to different people. So whether it's your career or relationships or personal life, celebrating your successes is an important part of leading a happy, fulfilled life. You know, for some, your success may have been taking on a new leadership position this year. Maybe you finally achieved some type of lifelong dream. For me, it was taking the step into full-time entrepreneurship. It also, another thing that I was able to accomplish is running my first 10K this past year. So maybe your dream was to run a marathon. I have one um, colleague and friend that did 100-mile kind of bike ride in Australia. And so whatever it was that you've accomplished, whether it's big or small, what I want you to do is just take a step back again and appreciate all of the hard work that you've put in to get there, right? It really helps you to set bigger goals and higher goals for yourselves in the future, because if you can achieve that one goal, since you were able to achieve that one goal, you have what it takes to continue to achieve. And so what you focus on is really what grows. What you focus on more is what you notice in life. And so if you're focused on those things that are not working, if that's the only thing that you think about, then you're really conditioning yourself to see what's not working. You're not conditioning yourself to see those things that are worthy or worth celebrating. So take the time, focus on your achievements, and celebrate everything that you have accomplished this year. If you want to in fact, not even if you want to, DM me, use the link in the show notes. If you're on LinkedIn, send me a message to talk about the things that you're celebrating, the accomplishments that you've been able to do over this past year. Number three, in terms of the activity that I think you absolutely need to do to close out the year strong and prepare for a very successful 2023, and that is practice self-compassion. You don't have to wait. You don't have to come up with this huge plan. Start practicing self-compassion. So self-compassion is an important quality to have, really, if you want to continue to be successful and happy and have a productive and meaningful life. It really starts with understanding that mistakes are all part of being human, and we have to know that we have to be kinder to ourselves, right? Right? Mistakes happen. it's not about the mistake. It's really about what you do after that thing has happened. Do you wallow in it? Do you compound it by beating yourself up? Or do you pick yourself up, learn from the situation, and move forward? Really move forward. Because when you apply self compassion to yourself, it helps you move those things forward. It helps us to cope with the difficult situations. It provides comfort and strength. And the interesting thing, and I talk about this a lot, and I've talked about this in some past episodes, it's really easy for us to be compassionate towards other people. When things happen, you're like, oh, well, it's okay. You made a mistake. Everything's going to work out. Don't worry about it. But when it happens to us, we tend to view it as being fatal. Like there's no coming back from whatever this thing that has just happened. Just work on applying compassion to yourselves, right? Acknowledge whatever the imperfections or things that you're looking at and forgive yourself. Allow space for growth, right? And part of growing is when you're not able to achieve something and you take a step back, you look again, maybe you look at it at a different angle, maybe you try to accomplish it in a different way, but you look at it and you keep going, right? You shift and you keep going. So let's eliminate the negative talk. Let's stop ruminating over any flaws, because practicing self-compassion is going to help boost your mental health. It's going to reduce your stress levels so that you can continue along your path towards success without feeling overwhelmed or exhausted. So step number 3, you're practicing self-compassion. Number 4, we talked about this a few weeks ago, which is start a gratitude practice. What are you grateful for? Because gratitude is a powerful tool that will help lead to, again, more meaningful and joyful lives. Practicing gratitude can be as simple as, taking a few moments each day to reflect on the things that you're thankful for. It can have an absolute profound effect on just your well-being and in your relationships and your physical health. While it may seem like an overwhelming task, you can start a gratitude practice because it will be rewarding. You can practice just saying thank you. If you're on social media or you're looking through your text messages, I want you to go find a name of a friend and just thank them for being who they are. Encourage them where they are and be grateful for the friendship and the connection that you have. The power of gratitude is something that cannot be overstated. When we take the practice to express that thankfulness on a regular basis, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. Not only does expressing gratitude have all of the benefits that we've talked about before, right? We have absolutely those benefits that we talked about before. But it really helps when you are incorporating it on a daily basis. So, James, we've talked about, 1, make the time to reflect and do an in-year review. 2, celebrate your achievements. Really want to celebrate the things that you've been able to accomplish. 3, practice self-compassion. There are going to be areas where you may have fallen short, but you don't want to beat yourself up over that. You want to pick yourself up, forgive yourself, make room for your growth, and keep moving forward. Number 4 is start that gratitude practice. And number 5 is dream. I want you to take some time over the next few weeks and really dream about the future that you want. Dream about what it is that you want to accomplish, right? Dreams are one of the most powerful things that we can do in life. Your dreams can provide you with motivation, direction, and a sense of purpose, right? The dreams is kind of a precursor to the vision that you will have in all of these areas of your life. Dreams are going to have the potential to help you become happier, more productive, and successful because you're going to identify those areas where you want to explore building a vision. That dream is like having that internal compass that's going to help you guide you towards your vision and your goals. We actively pursue when we actively pursue our dreams and take steps toward achieving them, man, at least it gives me a sense of accomplishment, a sense of satisfaction in life. And while some people may think dreaming big is foolish and unrealistic, research has shown that those that have dreams are more likely to be successful than those who do not dream at all. So dreaming is going to encourage you to explore the possibilities of your future. It's also going to give you something positive to strive for, and it becomes the general foundation that you are going to use to build the vision in all of these different domains of life, to build your vision for your career and your business, to build your vision for your family, to build your vision for your health, your physical, mental, and spiritual health, to build your vision in all of those domains. So, as we think about preparing for 2023, you want to celebrate, you want to reflect and recharge. You do want to set your goals for 2023, but my recommendation is going through these earlier steps first before you do the exercise on building those goals. So you want to make time to think and reflect about this past year. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Practice self-compassion. Start a gratitude practice. And dream big dreams. Do not forget about your self-care during this holiday season. Do not procrastinate about taking the step to review your year and begin to lock in this celebration, to lock in that celebration. Listen, if you need some help walking through a year in review or help developing your plans for 2023, I do have some spots that are open within my coaching program. So reach out, let us connect. The best way to get in contact with me is you can go to the website, Engineer Your Success Now, engineeryoursuccessnow.com, and reach out and let's connect. I'm going to end this podcast like I end every other podcast, and that is this. Many people know what to do. Fewer people know how to do it. And there are a select group of people that are actually following through, doing it, and living the life of their dreams. It is my desire, and my whole practice is designed around helping you become part of that select few. I want you to have a great week. I want you to be great this week. Next week, we're going to talk in more detail about doing your own year-end review. Thanks.